guys, this is Yenni coming to you right as I just finished editing this episode. Sarah and I just wanted to let you know that in the middle of this episode, you're going to definitely start hearing some noises, which we have purposefully raised the volume so that you could hear it. Let us know what you think. It looks like we had more than just one guest in today's episode. Huh, I guess it really is spooky season.
Welcome to Story Sirens, the podcast where we deep dive into myths and mysteries from around the world. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Yenni. And today we are definitely venturing into very spooky and very scary mysteries.
Yes. But before we fill you in on the topic that'll surely be leaving you with nightmares, or at least it will for us, we have a special guest with us today.
Yes, we do. We are happy to welcome Professor of History, Archaeology, and English,
seasoned ghost hunter,
published author,
and creator of Hauntings Around America,
Erin Egnatz. Yay!
Yay! Not only has she been featured in Fox Chicago, NBC Seattle, and Wave TV,
but she's also a wife and mama to 3 kids, 2 dogs, 4 cats, and an incredibly judgmental bearded dragon, which I know all about.
Right? So. Thank you so much for joining us today, Erin. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
Also, I just want to say, with that entire list of credentials, I'm just like, how do you have the time? You are Superwoman.
You are.
So, very, very, very cool. Very cool. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. And I had the privilege of meeting Erin when I auditioned for one of her many books, by the way, Professionally Unprofessional, under her pen name Eliza Nevius. The book is currently available on Kindle and paperback, with the audiobook version, narrated by yours truly, coming out very soon. And while the book is filled with feel-good moments,
this episode definitely isn't.
That depends on what someone thinks feel good means, ladies.
Very true.
Okay, this is true.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if our introduction of Erin hasn't already raised some suspicions as to what this episode may be about, buckle up, listeners, because we are going into the paranormal today.
And who better to guide us through haunted objects from around the world than the creator of Hauntings Around America herself? Hello.
Yay!
If you're a bit of a chicken, like I hear you two hosts are.
Yes.
Definitely yes. Yes.
Guilty, 100%.
It's best you listen to this episode in broad daylight and possibly leave a light on tonight.
Oh, 100%. I will be doing that.
Actually, writing this episode, I was having nightmares. That's how bad it was. But before we begin naming some haunted objects, Erin, we've got to ask, what made you become a ghost hunter?
Please tell us.
It was a while ago. I was on a trip to Gettysburg with my family. And I think that's how many ghost stories start, honestly.
Yes.
Something about the place. But I was about 13 or 14, and we were standing on the battlefield, and my mom, myself, my dad, and my little sister were standing there looking out over the field, and I saw these reenactors walking out of the woods, you know. They were just in their Civil War gear, and I was like, okay, whatever, what are they doing? But they got about halfway across the field, and then the whole regiment just disappeared. They were just gone. And
What?
Yeah, they were just there, and then they weren't.
So you saw that?
I saw that, yeah. That was my first experience with anything paranormal. I didn't know what I was seeing.
So like, these were not reenactors? Oh my gosh.
No, I thought they were, because, you know, who else would be standing out in the field, right? But it was like an afternoon, and it was like Tuesday afternoon, so why would the reenactors be there? But, you know, 14-year-old brain wasn't
Tuesday, the
that.
spookiest of days.
Of course. Yes, exactly. But I grabbed my mom, and I was like, you know, did you see those reenactors? She's like, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. And she kind of turned back to my dad, and I saw them again. They started to walk out of the woods again. And I was like, Mom, look at these guys. And then, you know, she kind of looked too, and we're watching, and then they get halfway again, and then they're gone. And she and I looked at each other like, what did we just see? You know, and it kept happening, almost like a time loop type thing. She grabbed my dad, because he's Mr. Guidebook, you know. So, and we're like, what's going on with these reenactors? And he goes, I don't see anybody. We saw them, My mom and I saw them, but my sister and my dad did not see them.
Some people are more keen to seeing things than others. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
So
don't want
that
it.
started it. No, you don't want to deal with that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that is a fascinating beginning of a very fascinating career of yours.
Yeah.
So thank you for making time for us today.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
having
And
me.
real quick, before we continue, Hauntings of America Around America is actually available on YouTube. Is there any other platform that you talk about ghost hunting that we should know about?
Yeah, I have a website, hauntingsaroundamerica.com, and you can go type in your state, and odds are you'll find a ghost story from that location.
What? Crazy.
Okay. I love this. We are definitely going to have to investigate our home states, and then listeners, go investigate yours. So,
Investigate?
all right. So,
Sarah? You and I investigate?
by investigate, I mean go onto her website and search our states.
Right. Because
It's a
you
cursory.
and I.
It's a light investigation. Now, without further ado, ladies, shall we jump into the world of paranormal activity?
Please don't remind me of the movie that still haunts me today. I don't leave my feet out because of that one scene where she is dragged from the bed. So anytime I hear paranormal activity, and I wrote it today, this eye twitched. I was like, ugh. So.
Well, let's do
Yenni
it.
might not be ready, but Erin, perfect.
I am ready to
All
go.
right.
Let's do it.
We are starting off this list with the most beloved yet creepiest object that kids adore, dolls. Which, I mean, I absolutely love this cliche. How many times have we seen a movie or TV show, comedy, horror, or otherwise, where they go into a room, there are dolls everywhere, and immediately you're just like, oh no. So, we're going to start with probably the most famous of them all, the Annabelle doll. We can't do an episode of haunted objects without her. And so she's probably one of the best known haunted objects / dolls in America / the world.
Yeah.
So, based on the 1915 character Raggedy Ann, created by author and illustrator Johnny Gruelle, Raggedy Ann is a rag doll, obviously, with red yarn for hair and a triangular nose. Normally, she's pretty adorable.
Yeah.
By the 1940s, the Raggedy Ann books were soaring in popularity, with over 7 million copies selling. By the 1960s, the Knickerbocker Toy Company began selling actual Raggedy Ann dolls, which soon appeared on every little girl's wish list. 10 years later, in the 70s, a nursing student in Hartford, Connecticut named Donna was gifted an adorable Raggedy Ann doll by her mother.
Yep.
However, the once adorable doll gifted by her mother, now comfortably living in Donna and her roommate Angie's apartment, began playing a bit too much with Donna and Angie. We're talking about the doll playing with two humans.
Yeah.
Both girls started finding handwritten notes throughout their apartment, seemingly in a child's handwriting saying, "Help us." Absolutely not.
Do you imagine?
El
despojo que yo hago en esa casa. I would just start putting out candles and doing some seance stuff to clear. Where's the Palo Santo?
I'm like, holy water here, holy water there. All right. The Raggedy Ann doll was, of course, also moving around on its own. 1 second, she'd be placed on one side of the apartment, only to appear on the other side of the apartment. Donna and Angie decided to speak to a medium, who told them that the doll was possessed by the spirit of a 6-year-old girl named Annabelle. Understandably terrified, Donna gave the doll to paranormal investigators Edward and Lorraine Warren. You'll be learning about them a bit later on in this episode. Honestly, they could have their own entire episode.
And I think they will, because there's just no way.
There's a lot about them. But the Warrens soon denied that a little girl was possessing the doll, but instead a demon. Oh,
Better.
It just keeps getting better. And they decided to place the doll in a glass box, free to be seen by all who would visit their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut. They never changed the name from Annabelle, though. So, a terrifying little demon with a cute little name of Annabelle. Oh, yeah, cool, great, whatever.
You imagine, too, and
Now-
it has like a smoker voice, like, yeah, my name is Annabelle.
Now, since being under the Warrens' care, the doll has been said to physically harm onlookers. It's been said that it has caused a priest who had badmouthed it to run his car into a tree, and apparently the doll stabbed a homicide detective. Annabelle would go on to have a very strong following, having her own horror movie franchise, though not depicted as a Raggedy Ann doll due to trademark issues, and also appearing in the Conjuring universe, which is part of the greater Warren universe.
Yeah.
So, I don't like any of this, Yenni.
Do you imagine? I just want to talk about that detective because he just comes with like stab wounds all over his body. And his boss asks him like, what happened to you? He goes, man, I got attacked by a Raggedy Ann.
I just,
How did a Raggedy Ann doll get
do you have any thoughts on this?
You know, whenever Annabelle is at one of these like haunted Comic-Con type things, I am not there.
Because she like tours too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
like
No.
the curators of the museum take her on tour. Like she was just recently in New Orleans, which I'm like, New Orleans, probably one of the most haunted cities in the United States,
Yeah.
and now we're putting a haunted/possessed doll in the middle of it? I think not.
No.
Oh,
No.
have you
I won't
seen her?
deal with Annabelle.
Have you seen her?
No, I won't go near her. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just this wild tale or whatever, but I don't want to find out. So I stay away from Annabelle.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's very prudent. I think that is an excellent decision, Erin. We like you too much. Don't go near her.
Don't go near her. And well, guys, we'd like to think that Annabelle is the only possessed doll, but nay. We have one more that we're going to talk about today, and that is Robert the doll.
Oh, great.
Guys, just like Barbie has her Ken, Annabelle has her male counterpart named Robert. I love your face,
I
Sarah.
hate this. I hate this.
I wrote that
So
knowing
much.
that Sarah would be like, you would. You would.
I mean, excellent correlation, excellent writing. I'm not critiquing that.
Right.
I'm just hating it exists.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does. So Annabelle's boyfriend, Robert, was created by the Steiff Company in 1904. The doll is 40 inches tall and stuffed with wood wool, and it was gifted to a boy from Key West, Florida, named Robert Eugene Otto, who went by the name Gene.
Of course it's Florida.
And of course it's freaking Florida. Why? And the worst part is I live closer to Key West, so definitely.
Oh, no, that's true.
I am not going near there. But anywho, Gene named the doll Robert and dressed him in his old sailor suit, and soon the both became best of friends. Now, I would like to say he named the doll after himself. We'll just put that there. There was no Gene without his doll Robert. And the Otto family did mention that Gene was incredibly emotionally attached to his doll. Strange things during Gene's childhood would happen, all of which Gene would place the blame on his doll, saying, I didn't do it, Robert did.
Ah, classic child hijinks.
What odd things exactly were happening? Well, anytime there was an accident in the home, Gene would blame it on Robert. So something would fall, it was Robert. A glass would break, it was Robert. Gene's parents would constantly also hear Gene speak to Robert. And on some occasions, they would hear something responding back.
Nope, burn it with fire.
No. Even stranger, Gene's family started realizing that whenever they would chat in Robert's presence, the doll's features would quite literally change. As Gene grew, he kept Robert with him the whole time, which this makes it even worse. Gene would become a prominent artist in Key West, Florida, and stayed living in the same house he was raised in. After getting married, the only person with common sense, Gene's wife, began feeling incredibly uncomfortable with Robert's presence because, again, he kept Robert the whole time. You imagine you're like having dinner and your husband's like, we forgot Robert. And you just bring this 40-inch tall freaking
I'm
doll.
willing to, like, cut so much slack to people who, like, keep a stuffed animal or 2 or 10 from their childhood and that sort of stuff. That's fine. They're cute. They're cuddly. They're animals.
Negative.
A humanoid doll.
A humanoid doll is a choice. So
that is named after yourself. Okay.
So his wife was like, Papi, no, we can't have this. And she went, it needs to go in the attic, and you need to lock him up in there because I'm not having it. So obviously,
Good for her.
Gina's smart. Listen to your wife, guys. So that's exactly what he did. He locked him in the attic. Obviously, Robert did not like this. Visitors at the residence would hear footsteps in the attic alongside childlike giggling. Neighborhood children would actually see Robert watching them from the attic window. Some even saying that the doll would mock them if they would walk within earshot. Insane. After Jean's death, a woman named Myrtle purchased his home and became Robert's new companion. But not for long. She stated that the doll would move around the house on its own and was definitely haunted, and donated Robert to a museum. First of all, why didn't you keep it in the attic? Why didn't you give it away?
Why did you let it out?
Yeah. She died months later, and you're going to hear this a lot throughout all of the objects that we're talking about. Like, everybody who has been with the object somehow dies. Well, we would like to tell you everybody dies. So, I mean...
That is true. Like, everybody does, but at least these are a little bit more suspicious.
Yeah. So, after donating Robert to Fort East Martello Museum, the museum staff started feeling a change in the atmosphere. Once in the exhibit halls, it became normal for security cameras to malfunction. And soon enough, letters began arriving at the museum of different guests writing to Robert to apologize for any disrespecting behavior. This is because word had it that you must ask for permission to, one, take a photo of Robert, and you must respect him while in his presence, because he is not very nice to those who don't. So, Robert, you are a very nice gentleman doll. Okay? I would just like to say that.
Just mum's the word.
Mum's the word.
We are definitely not visiting that
absolutely
museum
not.
when we go to the Keys, Yenni. I'm not doing it. I'm not going near it.
What about you, Erin? Have you heard of Robert?
I have heard of Robert, yes. I thought about going down there, but there's something about the dolls that really... I don't mesh with the dolls. Yeah, the dolls, that's a bridge too far for me. I'll do the ghost. I'll do maybe like a demonic place, but I'm not doing the dolls. That's just, there's something wrong with that, I think.
Yeah. And like, let me tell you something. These two are enough to never let me buy my child a doll.
Yeah, agreed. Did y'all have dolls growing up?
Did you, Sarah?
Yes.
I did too. I had a
Okay.
I had a stuffed doll named Lulu, but she was donated to Goodwill, I think. And then around middle school, I have this dog up here. You can't really see him. Let me bring him out. This is Coco. This is my stuffed dog. Because I'm like, this doesn't look like it'll harm me. Please don't.
Right. Well, so like, yeah, I had Barbies, and I had like one American Girl doll, and my dad had like a business partner who like every time he'd like come to see my dad, he'd always bring me like a porcelain doll, and they were always a little bit terrifying. So like, we'd put them out while this business partner was like here for a visit and everything, and then as soon as he would leave, my mom was like, box it up, garage sale. But I will say, my aunt, when her first grandchild was born, made basically like, you can order those kind of toddler replica dolls, not like a reborn doll or anything, but it was this porcelain doll that was about the size of a toddler, and it looked exactly like my cousin. It had his bright red hair, and like it was dressed in an outfit that was very similar to what my cousin would wear, and like my aunt was like, oh, we can do this photo shoot, and like here's the toddler and the little doll that looked just like him. And both my mother and I were just like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
This is just playing with fire.
Yeah.
So, no.
No. And Erin,
how about you?
I had dolls, but my grandmothers always had those porcelain dolls. And, it would be like a whole full curio of them. And every time I'd go in, I was just like, those things freak me out. I don't like them. And then, when they passed, they left them to me.
Oh, no.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course.
Like, Erin would love these.
Yes. And they're here, but they're in boxes because I can't. I can't. I don't know what it is. I've been to a couple haunted locations, and they'll have like a doll room, and I always firmly close the door and say, no, I'm not doing that one.
You're just like, no, I'm good.
I'm good. But yeah, I liked dolls as a kid, but I haven't gotten a lot from my daughter because
You're like, no, sweetie, let's get you something else that doesn't remind mommy of demons.
Right.
And that's it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I think I've had enough with dolls.
Yes.
Y'all?
Yes. Now, ladies, we've chatted about dolls, but what about jewelry?
No, not the jewelry.
Why must shiny things be evil?
This one I've actually seen in person. So.
So we're going to get real life. Ooh.
So the Hope Diamond, having many names, including Le Bijou de Roy, Le Bleu de France, and Tavernier Blue. Those are some fun names.
Yeah. Right?
Many know it as the Hope Diamond, a gorgeous 45.52 carat deep blue diamond worn by royalty.
It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
And filled with a dreadful curse that has left its owners in great misfortunes, including bankruptcy and death. Yikes.
Oh, okay, cool, great.
The jewel's origins come from India, where in 1642, a wealthy merchant, John Baptiste Tavernier, allegedly stole the then 115.16 carat blue diamond from a Hindu idol, where it served as one of its eyes.
Yeah, that's the first
This
step.
was a bad idea.
Bad idea.
Wow. Upon one of the Hindu priests, known as Pandit or Pujari, seeing the missing eyepiece, they placed a curse on whoever possessed the gem. Cue the misfortune.
You know, we would have known
stupidity,
that. Yeah.
stupidity leads to stupid curses.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Exactly. Okay, so King Louis XIV bought the gem from Tavernier in 1673 and had it recut down to 69 carats.
So this diamond just keeps shrinking.
Yeah, they keep cutting it.
This was a 115. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
115 carat diamond, and now, okay, cool, 69. Nice. No!
Great number. So
Yeah. Why would you make it smaller? That's what I'm wondering. Isn't it worth more big?
It's a pocket-sized curse?
I think this was because they started putting it on themselves, and they're like,
Yeah, I'm sure they're wearing
100
it.
carat,
Yeah.
that's a pretty heavy diamond.
You know what? Try lifting, King Louis, okay?
So, not long after King Louis would contract gangrene and die,
Oh!
there you go. The last queen of France and wife of Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette, would inherit the diamond. Both were put to death via the guillotine. Many believe their gruesome fates occurred due to the diamond's curse.
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
During the French Revolution, Dutch jeweler Wilhelm Fals came into possession of the diamond and cut it once again, from 69 down to the current 45.52 carats.
We're just shrinking the curse. I'm telling you, make
Shrinking.
it pocket size.
I feel like anytime you cut it, it's just like it goes, oh yeah, watch this. Watch that. I'm going to cut your life. I'm going to cut your
Seriously. After he cut it, his son would murder him and then take his own life.
Telling you, cut your life.
There you go. Fast forward to the U.S. in 1912 when mining heiress and socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean purchased the diamond, only to have the misfortune immediately occur. Her mother-in-law, son, husband, and daughter all died, and Evelyn herself became riddled with debt.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Her surviving children would go on to sell the diamond to a famous jeweler who in turn donated it to the Smithsonian Institute. It should be known that the famous jeweler didn't have a stroke of bad luck, but the mailman that was in charge of taking the diamond to its new home did. He got into a car accident, had a head injury, and his house burned down.
That's so sad.
Like, he's an innocent bystander in all this.
He's like, I'm just doing my job.
Oh, so okay, don't be a mailman, I guess.
Don't be a
mailman. Story.
That's the moral.
Don't be a mailman.
The diamond now sits comfortably in the National Museum of History in Washington, D.C., with it being one of the most visited exhibitions at the Smithsonian.
I would never go. And I will also
not
stick
going.
to my cheap Target jewelry, thank you very much, which is not always that cheap. Just saying.
How about we just keep making like our own little friendship bracelets, that way we can figure out how the yarn is sourced and the beads. I don't know. So,
but wait, also, Erin, when did you go see the Hope Diamond?
Oddly enough, it was right before my first trip to Gettysburg where I saw the ghost. I'm not kidding.
So, like, it was a haunted press tour before you realized this is what you were going to be doing.
At 14 years old, here I am exploring all these places. But yeah, the Hope Diamond, it's really pretty, but it does give off this vibe. I mean, there's people everywhere, so it's kind of hard to pick up on it, but it's gorgeous, but I'm glad it was in a case. Yeah, ominous, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, by the way, was just for my questioning, do we know if the Titanic, like, diamond was made, like, with the Hope Diamond in mind? Because it was also, like, it's been 84 years, and then she drops it in the ocean.
Right.
Yeah, 1912, right?
Oh,
yes. I think that's what it
1912.
must have been. I'm going to have to Google that.
A little inspiration there.
Yeah.
But she didn't die immediately, although the boat did. Wait a second.
She didn't die, but a whole bunch of other people did.
Yeah.
Oh
Maybe that was the Hope Diamond's beginning in the Titanic, Lord Jesus.
And, just weave that in with the whole, conspiracy that wasn't even the Titanic. It was the Olympic and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, for all of you out there who are sitting there going, oh, well, I'm not interested in that anyway because diamonds are overrated. Well, we're coming for the rubies next.
Oh, well, or so we think.
Well, the Black Prince's Ruby is our next haunted gemstone. There's,
Yeah, don't worry.
Adorned at the script. Yeah.
What
adorned
is
at the
happening,
center.
Erin? Is this your script?
What's
Is
that?
it the dogs? Is it the laundry? What's happening?
Yeah, we hear.
I don't hear anything.
It stopped.
I don't hear anything.
Erin, don't.
I'm not kidding. I
Oh
don't
my
hear
gosh.
anything. Is there something going on?
There was, and then you took your headphones off, and then it stopped.
Erin.
Now, my house is haunted, so.
No!
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
No.
Okay, you're gonna have to
shaking.
tell us about this at the end of our listed haunted objects, if you don't mind. If you
No,
don't mind.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Oh my
because
gosh, oh my
I
gosh,
locked
oh
my
my gosh.
dogs 2 floors up to make sure they didn't walk around, and my kids are at school and my husband's at work.
Oh my God, no, I'm getting goosebumps. I swear to God. Sarah, you heard it. It was like a.
I heard it. Yeah. I was thinking like, oh, that's laundry or something like that. Like,
Oh.
Okay, let's just continue and finish.
okay, I know y'all aren't as interested anymore, but let's talk about the Black Princess Ruby. So, adorned at the center of the imperial state crown of the British monarch is a 170-carat cabochon red spinel, not a ruby as its name suggests. This jewel is said to be from the 14th century, and until the 16th century, it was believed to be a ruby because, oh, hey, all red gems are the same. Gem racists. But jewelers would learn that it was, in fact, a spinel, known today as the Great Imposter, for how closely it resembles the ruby. The jewel was first owned by Abu Said, the last sultan of Granada. In 1362, Granada was attacked by Castilian rule during the Christian reconquest of the Iberian Peninsula. In order to make a peace treaty, Sultan Said visited the Castilian island to meet with King Pedro of Castile. It should be known, King Pedro was also known as King Pedro the Cruel.
Oh,
great!
well.
This is going to end so well. Now, upon arrival, King Pedro the Cruel had the Sultan's servants killed and, per previous accounts, the king himself stabbed the Sultan to death.
Yeah.
Upon his death, the Sultan's body was searched and King Pedro the Cruel found the spinel and took it as his own, of course.
Yep.
This is where the Sultan's curse began. Get him, Sultan.
Yeah.
Get him.
I'm not even mad.
I'm not mad about this one. This one, yeah. Soon after having the jewel, King Pedro found himself at war with his brother and so asked for the help of King Edward III of England's son, Edward of Woodstock, known as the Black Prince of England. King Pedro would succeed with Edward's help and as a gift gave the Sultan's spinel to him. Edward would go back to England with it. That's when things start to fall apart and the Sultan's curse really begins. So, okay, first of all, Why didn't the curse fall more upon King Pedro and instead went to the British? I just
give it
answered
a
my own question.
second.
I just answered my own question. It went to the British.
Yeah.
All right, so King Pedro the Cruel. Oh, cool, great. I just didn't finish reading my notes.
You didn't.
King Pedro the Cruel would meet his end 3 years later, bankrupt and killed by his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatic. I do love the flair for dramatics these hauntings have.
Yes.
The Black Prince would later fall ill, the mysterious disease taking him slowly and painfully. The jewel then went on to be passed down generation to generation, and each royal who would wear it became mysteriously ill. In the 16th century, the Tudors became the owners of the jewel, and the misfortunes seemed to end. For a short time.
Yes.
We know the Tudors never experienced anything bad, ever. In 1603, Mary Elizabeth I gifted the jewel to Queen Mary of Scots, oh crud, who passed it down to King James I. Now the owner of it, King James I, would suffer seeing his son executed, and shortly after, the crown, alongside its jewels, were sold off. It's unsure how exactly the spinel found its way back into royal hands, but of course it did. But in 1661, it was documented that a substantial ruby was acquired for the crown jewels. As we recall, the spinel looks very similar to a ruby. The Black Prince's ruby is now on display in the Tower of London with all the other crown jewels. It's cursed, but we're not going to let it go.
Yeah, like all of these things, they're all cursed, and they're like, but we're going to show it to you in a museum where you will go.
What is it? It's kind of like the classic, like, oh, if we show it to somebody else, we're passing the curse along. Like, maybe it'll, like, latch onto somebody else and leave us alone.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And I feel like just with the Hope Diamond, while unfortunate events did happen to the owners of it, you can't truly believe that every single misfortune was due to the jewelry. I mean, we've mentioned multiple times how back in the day there were a lot of illnesses due to, like, unsanitary living and stuff like that. So, very much so. What do you think, Erin?
I think that I am never going to get any kind of cursed gemstone. That's what I think.
Very fair.
Listen, if y'all are investing in high-quality jewelry, look into ethical sourcing,
Yes.
talk to reputable jewelers,
Be like, did anybody who had this die?
avoid blood diamonds, which, are most diamonds on the market. So, I don't know, go for lab-grown or a different type of gemstone.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be ethical.
Now, we can't have a paranormal investigator with us and not mention some haunted houses, including her own. And before...
Yeah, which we are getting into that.
Yeah, we are. And before you listeners try to tell us otherwise, yes, a house is in fact an object. I'm a realtor. Fight me.
Yenni, please don't fight anyone, especially not our listeners. I just, did my nails and I don't want to get them ruined.
Fine.
Also, I just trimmed them down, so, I can't fight back. I've been declawed.
Oh, no, not the declaw.
I've been declawed.
Oh, God. Me too, though. I cut mine down. Erin, are your nails cut down, or are they fine?
I just cut them down, yeah.
See?
We can't
We're all in
fight.
sync. Look at us.
Yep.
We're not doing this. All right, but let's go on to
Yes.
our haunted houses.
Luckily, you don't need claws for this house, although... Let's talk about the Winchester house.
Oh, I love this one.
Yes. In 1886, William Wirt Winchester and Sarah Lockwood Parody Winchester lived in New Haven, Connecticut with their infant daughter, Annie. And all seemed well, until Annie unfortunately died of marasmus, which is an energy deficiency disorder.
Oh.
A few years later, Sarah's husband, William, would be taken from her by tuberculosis, leaving Sarah a widow and then heiress to the Winchester Repeating Arms fortune. We'll talk about that in a bit. Afterwards, Sarah moved from Connecticut to San Jose, California, with some extended family. Here's where the story gets a little bit hazy, and there's a lot of explanations as to why she suddenly moved after the deaths. The first reason was because Sarah began developing rheumatoid arthritis, to which her doctor suggested she move to warmer and drier climate that could improve her health. The second reason was because in such a state of depression over the continuous deaths in her family, Sarah visited a medium who told her that all the deaths occurring were due to her family being haunted by the ghosts of the victims of the Winchester rifles. Mind you,
Oh my
her
gosh.
family, like the fortune that she got, the man she married was the man who made the Winchester rifles, which were used a lot during that time period. I think they were like one of the only guns used, were they not? I think so, yeah.
One of the main ones, yeah.
Yeah. The medium told her the only way she could appease the ghosts was by constructing a house for them and never stopping the construction/expansion of said house. This was a way to keep the ghosts from finding her as well. Like, they won't be able to kill you if they can't find you. Which I don't know how that works.
Building a maze and a labyrinth.
The logic
then.
isn't
Okay,
logicking
great.
to me because I feel like they could walk straight through the wall. But I don't know. This medium
I don't know.
was
I feel
kinda-
like this medium is taking advantage of
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Whether you believe in doctor's orders or the medium's orders, we can in fact tell you that people believe in the latter. You'll find the storyline of Sarah meeting the medium in various brochures and websites. But we should let you know that there's actually no evidence supporting this encounter of her and a medium. In fact, there's no real concrete reason as to why she left Connecticut and why she began a never-ending construction. Once in San Jose, Sarah bought an 8-room farmhouse and began her expansion. By her passing in 1922, the house had 160 rooms, 13 bathrooms, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 10,000 windows, and 6 kitchens. Oh, and
Pardon?
2,000 doors.
Wait, what?
She's got more doors than rooms. Jeez.
Yep. The house has unfinished rooms, doors that open to either concrete walls or just empty space, or stairs leading up that go nowhere. Even
I don't
some
like any of this.
windows are barred from the inside. The house in itself became a maze, many believing Sarah constructed it this way to trick and confuse the ghosts into never being able to find her, as I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
The house has since become an attraction, of course, with many ghost hunters visiting the maze home. Visitors have experienced the smell of something cooking, heard footsteps, felt cold spots, heard doors and windows slamming shut, and more. Many believe that Sarah just loved interior designing and architecture, wanting to expand the home as much as possible for fun rather than to appease a ghost.
Uh-huh.
But as I said, we truly will never know the reason. What do you think, ladies? Rheumatoid arthritis, love for architecture, or ghosts?
Ghosts, 100%. I'm thinking ghosts.
I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I have yet to redecorate like this. So...
The
We
voice
know.
of experience and reason, ladies and gentlemen.
We know it is not arthritis.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Oh my
I've
gosh.
seen a lot of documentaries on the Winchester home. I think she was definitely trying to stop something because it just makes no sense. It makes no sense. I know there were people that were trying to like debug it, saying like, oh, there was like stairs leading up to like nowhere because she just, like forgot that she had done. I'm like, but if she loves architecture, she wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
Like how she did the stairs. You know what I mean?
This sounds like a woman who was consumed, understandably, by grief.
Yeah.
And possibly a medium took advantage of her. And so that was the only logic she could find. And so it became her obsession.
Yeah. Erin, did you go to the Winchester house or you haven't been there yet?
I have not been there yet. I need to get out there. It's so interesting. Even if, it isn't ghostly, it's definitely a maze and
Yeah,
it's
just to
really
see it.
interesting. Yeah, but something must be going on there, and like you said, I think the medium was probably taking advantage of her too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have another house to cover. Erin, would you like to lead us in this one?
Sure. So I have been outside of this one, never in it because it's a private residence. So just a little disclaimer. I have to tell my followers that all the time. Do not go and bother these people. So without further ado, everyone has seen or at least heard of the infamous book and movie, The Amityville Horror. But what is more fascinating is that it is all based on true accounts of paranormal activity. On November 3rd, 1974, in a suburban neighborhood named Amityville in Long Island, New York, a gruesome family murder occurred. Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his 6 family members and was sentenced to life in prison. Just a year after the murders, the house was purchased by a couple named George and Kathy Lutz. George and Kathy, their 3 children, and their dog Harry lived in the house for only 28 days before desperately packing up and fleeing the home.
At least they were smart and they left. Like, how many movies have we watched where people are like, oh, really weird and scary things are happening?
Let's
just
stay
put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I would literally
Good for
just
them.
leave. Yeah.
Good for you, Lutz family. Good for you.
While some of the book and film's paranormal experiences are fictional, there definitely are some experiences that both the Lutz family and others who visited the house during the Lutz's short stay have stated are true accounts. Father Pecoraro was a priest called by the Lutz to perform a blessing on the house, who stated that upon entering the home, he was slapped by an invisible force and heard a voice tell him to get out.
Sir, I will get right the fuck out. That's what I would do.
No. I don't like any of this. I don't like it.
George and Kathy Lutz state that most of the events in the book, including green substance coming out of the walls, windows shattering on their own, and Kathy levitating above her bed, are all true. That's one I haven't seen and don't want to see. So
No, never.
They even took a lie detector test to prove it. In a documentary done by the History Channel in 2000, George stated, "It's certainly not a hoax. It's real easy to call something a hoax. I wish it was. It's not."
Oh, boy.
Whew.
So in 1977, the Lutzes filed a lawsuit against several people, including the defense attorney for Robert DeFeo, who assisted in the writing of the book. Due to misappropriation of names, invasion of privacy, and mental distress, the case was later dismissed. Until their deaths, George and Kathy swore that they did, in fact, experience disturbing paranormal activity in their home. It should be known that the claimed haunted house was purchased once again in 1977 by James Cromartie, who lived there with his wife Barbara for 10 years and never experienced anything paranormal. Perhaps the real Amityville horror was the murder of the DeFeo family, or maybe there is something in that house.
I for sure am never visiting that home ever.
Yeah, no, me either.
Now,
And, ladies, I'm so glad we're recording this in the morning and not at night. But I know we're not done.
no, we're not done because there is something that we experienced in this episode. And
On
Erin,
this episode.
Erin will talk to, right now, just so you know, ever since we said it, it's been quiet.
And see, I didn't hear it at all. I didn't hear it at all.
I know.
Ah.
Tell us about your house, please.
So my house itself was built in 2003, and as far as I know, there was no hauntings or deaths or whatever. But as a historian and a huge collector, I have a lot of Civil War artifacts. I have bayonets, I have swords, I have bullets, I have, the uniforms. I have it all. And I also have a lot of Victorian stuff that has nothing to do with the Civil War, but I probably have thousands of items. So as I bring in new things, it gets really active. I haven't heard anything in a while, so this has been kind of ironic, I guess.
You're going to have to listen to the episode.
Yeah.
You're going to have to listen to the episode because it was getting loud.
It was getting loud.
Really?
And it was like scratching, like stomping. I don't even know.
Like to me it sounded like, that's why I thought it was like a washer or dryer, because like if you've ever like washed tennis shoes, if you put them in the dryer, it sounded like them thunking around in the dryer. So I was like, oh, they've got like a load of laundry going. But I'm like,
So you heard something different because I heard scratching. I heard like the dog, like a dog like playing like like that. Oh,
I didn't hear any of
listeners,
it.
Tell us what you hear. Listeners, let us know what you heard in Erin's house.
that's the siren call.
That's the siren call today. What did you hear come out of Erin's house? We don't want to creep you out, Erin. We don't want to creep you out.
It doesn't scare me.
It didn't. I was gonna say, like, it didn't sound hostile. It just sounded like moving around.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we're
at
here,
all.
pay attention to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Well, we paid attention.
Yeah, I think it's the bayonet, honestly. It was from Gettysburg, and when I bought it, it started messing with my husband almost immediately. He started having, and he does not do the ghost thing at all. He does not like ghost hunting or anything like that. He doesn't want to be a part of it. He's terrified of it. So it like zeroed in on him, and he started having like these dreams about this soldier.
It's like we
carrying
found the
a
chicken.
bayonet. Yes.
They found the
so
chicken.
of course they had to mess with him, but I don't
Of
know.
course they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Scooby-Doo logic. They always go after Shaggy and Scooby first, not
Very
the people
true.
who actively want to, you know, not Fred, Daphne, and Vilma who want to investigate this stuff. I'm sorry, I correlate everything back to Scooby-Doo. Because again, chicken, big chicken right here.
I mean, look, I wrote this episode. I've said it like throughout like 10 times. I have had nightmares. I actually had nightmares the day before yesterday and yesterday night. Sarah, why did we do this again?
Because it's October.
Because it's October.
And October is a great time of the year.
And we love Erin. I mean, Erin, I feel
we
like...
love Erin, and Erin is so cool, and I'm so glad I got to meet her on this episode,
Yeah.
and I want to get to know her better so
Maybe
that I'm
not
not
your
so scared
house.
of the ghosts.
Maybe not your house, though. We'll go to your house. We'll go,
Yeah.
and we'll be like... Okay, bye.
Oh, and then Erin, you can come to my neck of the woods in Texas because I have a
yeah.
family member who is very convinced that my house is haunted in a like non-threatening way, of which I'm just going, I don't feel anything negative coming from it, but we do have one family member who is convinced that we have like a Victorian couple who just likes to pop up during our parties and watch.
So cool.
And
I
I'm
like
just
that.
like, I would like Erin to come and verify this.
Erin can come with
And we could go
Victorian
from there.
garb.
Well,
will.
which especially, I'm also going, a Victorian couple? This house wasn't built until the 1940s. Okay.
I mean, maybe there was a house beforehand.
I'm wondering,
knows?
like, what antiquity do I have in this house? Like, there's some, I'm
Yeah.
sure, whatever. All right.
Listen,
Shall we move on to modern media?
I think we should, because I feel like, Erin, you're the only one of us actually enjoying this topic. We love having you here, though. Just not the paranormal.
Yes. It is it's a taste, you know. You either like it or you don't want anything to do with it. Like my husband and most of my family, they want nothing to do with it. They're like,
Yeah.
you're just like crazy. So
Yeah. So, Sarah, come on now. Let's continue this.
All right. So for modern media, we can't talk about possessed objects, specifically dolls, without bringing up Chucky. With 8 films under his belt. There are 8 of them?
There's 8.
What? Okay. This gruesome and murderous doll is definitely not for child's play. I see what you did there, Yenni. Also, may I just say, because of the doll my aunt had commissioned for her grandson who had red hair, and the doll had red hair, my mother would call the doll Chucky.
Oh,
Much to
no.
my aunt's
Dismay.
chagrin. She'd be going, Dolly, stop that. And my mom's like, it's what it looks like. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I just
Like,
remembered.
why is this in your house?
I just remembered, too, that my grandma would buy my aunt porcelain dolls, and she'd have them in her room, and Dia hates porcelain dolls. But she couldn't throw them out because her mom kept buying her. So you would come to our house, and Dia literally had the dolls, but they would be, like, facing her bed. So, like, at night, the dolls are just, like... Yeah, she hated them. But she had them for so long.
Also, I'm sorry, I know there have been so many tangents in this, but may I just add to this whole conversation, my husband, who I love and
Not the
adore and
masks.
cherish.
Not the...
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My husband has these 2 Venetian carnival masks that he did pick up when he was in Italy. I mean, they were, you know, some of his first, like, real overseas souvenirs. He was very excited to get them. I totally get that. I have, like, some Venetian carnival masks that I like, but they're smaller and more contained. These are like full face jester style full masks that hang on the
They're
wall.
disturbing.
And I hate them. I have relegated them to his office now and they stay there. But early on in our marriage, they were in the bedroom. And I woke up one night in the middle of the night, and I'm a sleep talker, which of course terrifies my husband. But I woke up in the middle of the night one night going, they're looking at me, make them stop staring at me, make them go away, which of course my husband shot up and was like, who's here? What's going on, Sarah? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just going back to bed because I was sleep talking. But shortly after there, I did have to tell him the masks can't be in here anymore. I hate them. My mother hates them.
He
Yenni
was
hates
your
them.
Gene. He was your gene. He is your gene. You told him you got to put those masks somewhere else, and he listens to his wife. So there you go. Now, we covered 2 haunted houses, actually 3. But have you heard of the Haunted Mansion? Disney's Haunted Mansion. A real estate agent is asked to sell a slightly haunted mansion and also help figure out a curse. How hard could it be? Yeah.
How hard?
As covered at the beginning of the episode, you can see more of Annabelle, not me, as well as other paranormal experiences that investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren encountered by diving into the Conjuring universe. And the Conjuring house is going for sale, ladies.
What?
Yes, it's
Cool.
going for auction
That won't
on
be bought by
Halloween.
us. Oh, we are messing with too many. Halloween lands on like a Friday this year. Like, that's just messing with too many thinnings of the veils.
That open house is going to be hectic.
It's open in more ways than one. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Here's a quick movie timeline guide for you in case you want to watch them in order. Starting with The Nun, based in 1952.
Annabelle Creation, based in 1955.
The Nun 2, based in 1956.
Annabelle, based in 1967.
The Conjuring, 1971.
Annabelle Comes Home, which I really wish she wouldn't, in 1972. The Curse of La Llorona, based in 1973.
The Conjuring 2, Why Is This List So Long, in 1977.
And finally, for now I guess, The Conjuring 3, 1981.
For now, because apparently the Conjuring house is for sale and there should be something
So
coming
there's
out of
gonna
that.
be more. There's gonna be more.
Yeah, we're very much aware of it. Now, Erin, thank you again for taking the time to hang out with us, laugh with us as we attempt to get through this list, and really hope not to have nightmares tonight.
For sure. But Erin, we are so thankful to have had you here. And before we go, please let us know your socials and where our listeners can find you. And don't worry, guys, we will also have our socials in our show notes. So, Erin, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I am on Instagram more than anything. Sometimes you'll see me on Facebook. It's just my name, Erin Egnatz. But Instagram is Hauntings Around America, and I post both as Eliza for my books as well as all of my haunted hotspots. So, yeah, you can follow me on there.
Yay!
Awesome.
And as we said, our siren call, what did you hear? We want to know, because we definitely heard
What did you hear
something.
in the recording?
Yeah.
Come back to us. Let us know in our public Discord. The link is in the show notes. But please, listen to this episode. Tell us what you heard, because Yenni and I heard something different, and Erin heard nothing.
Yeah, I also love that we're like ghost hunters now. What did you hear? And then you like go back 3 times. And then it's like, get out. Oh my God.
Right.
Maybe we were slapped.
Wait, what if we listen to it in reverse?
Absolutely not. We're not doing that. We are not, in the name of Jesus. So, thank you so much, Erin, and thank you, everybody, for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Story Sirens. You can follow us on Instagram at Story Sirens Podcast. Want to support us? Send us a cup of Ko-fi by searching ko-fi.com/storysirens. We've got lots of treats for those who become siren seekers. All research materials can be found in the episode summary. Music by Donald Guzzi and artwork by Alexis Torres. Story Sirens is a Feather and Fin production. See you soon.